Welcome friends to Stellaris. Let's survive together. Set up a selection that was made by our great community. We are playing the Extinction Rebels. We're a Theocratic Republic that believes in the great world of Gaia. Gaia is the name for the system of Earth, developed by the scientist James Lovelock. He believed, and many others believe too, that Earth itself is a being and we are its organs, its blood cells, we are a part of that living system. But the living system is in danger currently. It's getting hotter and hotter, and if you believe in Gaia, you believe that Earth will adapt to survive as a system, as an organism, and currently it's getting hotter. The Extinction Rebels have managed to survive and to stop the process from getting into a runaway greenhouse effect. So we have a hot world, we have a dry world, but we also have a survive world. And that's what we want to do, survive together. And so the Extinction Rebels have formed. So we're playing a Theocratic Democratic Republic with automatic resettlement chance plus 50%, which is especially later on very useful to get your pops here or there between the planets. So if you have many planets, that's a big advantage. They're environmentalists, of course. They're focusing on the planet, on stabilizing the planet, not to get a runaway greenhouse effect. If you don't know what the runaway greenhouse effect is, maybe you know about the planet of Venus. The planet of Venus, a long time ago, had a so-called runaway greenhouse effect that has now brought the temperature up to several hundreds of Fahrenheit or Celsius. So it's uninhabitable, maybe because of the runaway greenhouse effect. And then we also have the Beacon of Liberty. So we're environmentalists to stop this greenhouse effect, right? So that grants us access to the nice Ranger Lodge holding, and pop consumer goods upkeep goes down 20%. So we're just a little bit more prudent in using things, not throwing them away so early. Also have the Beacon of Liberty because we wanted to integrate. They wanted to integrate all of Earth's population to take part in this, and so the Beacon of Liberty was the idea behind it all. Everyone can join the movement. Be they poor or rich, may they believe this or that. Even if the Gaia belief is our foundation, our theocratic foundation, we're spiritually rooted in all of Earth's religions. And for that reason, we're also egalitarian. So everyone counts. Everyone has, some count a little more, but not much more. We cannot use autocratic government forms, and we can use utopian living standards. Maybe we can afford that. Faction unity gain is 25% more, and specialist pop resource output is also 5% more, because they can just live in peace. They are rewarded not for their connections or them being part of an elite, but by merit. They're militarist. They had to fight their way out of this. It was not beautiful. There was some resistance by unfortunate big conglomerations of power that had to be overcome. The evil for them is concentrations of power. Concentrations of power usually are very bad for living systems like Earth. They block things. If they make a decision, it's a huge decision, and if a huge decision is wrong, it's a huge mistake. While if you have many little systems, and some of them do bad decisions, it doesn't have a big influence. But if such a big concentration makes a big mistake, and that happens all too often, then it can be catastrophic for the whole system, which is why these systems had to be fought, had to be split up, and their power had to be redistributed to smaller groups of people, to everyone, egalitarian. We're also spiritualist because we believe in the greater being of Earth, of Gaia, that we belong to. Also by way of the religions. So that is one of the connecting elements. We're not purely materialist, even though we're intelligent and definitely interested in science. But what unifies us is the belief that there is a greater whole out there that we're part of. And that society, an egalitarian society, can cope with whatever challenges are there together. So that is our spiritual belief, that we are all one system. We all belong to that. There's a place for everyone. But as we're intelligent, we also often disagree about ideas, which brings down our unity again a little bit. So integrating all of these beliefs is a little bit, it's a matter of often discussion, and that brings down unity a little bit, but it's not too much. It's just something that happens when you want to integrate so many different beliefs, from natural beliefs to like heliocentric beliefs to just Christianity to Islam. Faiths can be really different, even though they have that one idea that we all belong together in common. And with discussion we solve this problem, but for that some quarrels have to happen from time to time. We are flitting because we are still recovering from the near environmental catastrophe that nearly devastated Earth. Thankfully it did not become a tomb world, but it was close, so that is still carrying us on, like the microplastics everywhere, the heightened UV rays, all of that plays a role in wearing the rebel humans out. They're still trying to recover the climate of Earth. They're still trying to cope with it, but they do not live as long. It's strenuous to live that way. But they have adapted. They're quick learners and they're conservationists, so they don't need that much. They can make do with quite a lot of things that even their parents have used. We have, as we've seen in the backstory, developed a syncretic evolution together with the newly reawakened dinosaurs that came into this world to help us. With the help of CRISPR and genetic development, we brought back these shadows from the past. Instead of burning them like we've done with fossil fuels, we have recreated the great, some would say, monsters that once roamed the earth, but for us they are citizens as well. Just not as intelligent so far, so for now they serve humanity as sturdy, rather servants, as tough deliverers of things on that rather rough desert world for the rebel humans. They are also very extremely strong, and I want to show you this. This is how they look, and also getting put out there with all the environmental dangers, the pesticides that still linger in the atmosphere, the so-called forever chemicals from agriculture and production, the microplastics everywhere also take their toll on them. So they are fleeting, but they are also very strong. They are a little bit slow learners, maybe due to their background of being dinosauric, of being more like the chill reptiles. If there's a sun, they will make a pause, things like that. But they are so strong and so willing to take part that they are happy about it, and that they make just a great job. If you put them down in a job, they will make a great job. We get 10% more resources from their jobs. So let's select that and let's have a look at the game details. Galaxy size is going to be huge. We have a galaxy shape of spiral, 4 arms galaxy, and we have 15 AI empires, most of them, I think 13 or something, made by the community and 2 or 3 by me. That will spice it up because some of them are really, really evil. There's a few of them that are potential allies, but the majority of them are bringing us into our motto, survive together. We have no advanced AI starts because we don't want to favor one AI over the other. It will be hard as it is on Grand Admiral non-scaling. Non-scaling means that they are off the start, they get all bonuses from Grand Admiral. It's a fantastic bonus, so they will develop much faster than us at the start of the game. Then we'll have 5 Fallen Empires, that's the maximum, and 3 Marauder Empires, also the maximum. We'll let the tech tradition cost habitable worlds, primitive civs, all the same. And in the spirit of this survival, I don't know if we can do it. We will punch up the crisis strength to 25 strength, so to the maximum vanilla value. It's gonna be a huge challenge to be able to defeat that. We will have to unify the galaxy before the crisis happens, otherwise we will run into huge problems. Mid-game start year is the standard 2300, end-game start year is the standard 2400. Victory year will pick off, so we can complete or not complete the game whenever we want. Difficulty will be Grand Admiral Scaling is off, so we already start with the big bonuses for the AI on Grand Admiral already. AI aggressiveness will be normal, so you have normal behavior there. Empire placement will be random. Advanced neighbors will be off. They will not be advanced, right, because we have no advanced AI starts, so it's also off. Hyperlane density, abandoned gateways, wormhole pairs are all at the standard of 1-time guaranteed habitable worlds as well. Carabiniers, L-gates, and xenocompatibility are on. I have tested xenocompatibility, and even if I let a huge galaxy run into the 500 years or something, it doesn't run into huge performance problems, so it will be safe to play for us on this computer. Logistic growth ceiling and growth required scaling, they're not very interesting. They're just set at standard. They're just set at default. So, let's play. In the eons, since the first primitive rebel human communities took shape amid the great dune seas of Earth, our civilization has spread and prospered. Great achievements were made both in the advancement of science and on the spiritual plane as we sought to expand our understanding of the universe and the role we play in it. A council of our most learned priests was convened to advise our elected leaders, a tradition that continues to this day. Now, after the discovery of the Hyperlane network, the finest minds of the Extinction Rebels have finished development of the first hyperdrives. The stars themselves are finally within our grasp for survival. At the start of this Let's Play, I will give some tips to newer players. So if you're new here, feel welcome. It's definitely something very cool to start a new game in Stellaris. There's so much to discover. There's so much to develop, and I'll just give you some tips how to start with a game along the way, how to just get a really good start at the game. And there's a couple of things you should check before you start things, like for example, you have Unity here and you have this, that's the Edicts Fund. You look at that, You look at that first, and you can, up to that point, you get a free number of Unity per month that will not count to your Unity. Unity will unlock these traditions and stuff. And so after the first month, when you have a nice starting thing here, you should activate something. And in our case, with being spiritual, we want the veneration of saints, so the priest output goes up, so we get even more Unity for no real downside, just getting more spiritual ethics attraction. So our population will get more spiritual. So that's one of the things you look to. But first thing you actually do is sending your construction ship usually to a mining station, because mining is like what you do first. We could go to the 3 energy Jupiter, which is a good choice, but what we really need at the start, as you can see here, is minerals, and so we're going to build on the minerals, and in general favor the base resources like energy credits, minerals, and food over things like research, because at the start you need to get things going. For that you need the basic resources, and then later on you can go into the fancy things. I mean, there are other strategies where you concentrate on something, but it's the safest way is to concentrate on a good amount of these base resources. You see that we don't have to do anything about food. Energy is always useful because it's also like a currency. As you can see, you have a market here where you can buy stuff, and it's always paid for in energy. So energy is, and to have more energy is always something good, because you can always buy something for it. Whereas with the other resources you have to sell them first, and that is not for free. Like you have usually a 30% market fee. Later on you have the galactic market, so you get only a 20% market fee for that. But energy credits have that big advantage that you can buy things directly. And we'll also do that from time to time. It really makes sense, especially at the start, to boost things a bit. Later on it's good to have a storage, and early on it's good to use every last resource you have to your advantage for long-term growth. Speaking about long-term growth, we're going to look into research. So what do you want first in research? First, you don't know enemies, you don't know opponents, you don't know who is next to you. And so you also should not prepare for them, because you don't know how they look. Maybe they are friends first, then you have time. So the thing you should concentrate on first are things that will give you an instant bonus without an investment, because you're going to invest a lot into space stations, expanding your empire, things like that. And the thing to do that is usually something like this. Gives 20% more physics research from researchers. That's quite a couple of research points, and it costs you nothing. This would unlock the very good building energy grid, which would give you then more energy credits from technician jobs, so more energy credits overall, but it needs an investment. So 400 minerals are hard to get at the start. Then you have improved deflectors, that gives your ships better shields, but that only comes into play if you get into some resistance. And so at the start you don't really need that. So we're going to go for quantum theory here. Also, you can see these are your researchers. Your researchers always have at least one trait, and that's either a bonus, a malus, or they might live longer, or have something special for exploring the space, or it's a specialization. So that's a general trait that gives us 5% more research speed for anything, which is just very good for someone sitting in the lab. And in this, they are specialized in society, but only a special branch of society that is statecraft, and you get a 15% bonus research speed for that. So if we have something here, yeah, that's not bad to take this, but it needs an investment again, the Off-World Trading Company. And so we're gonna pass it up and just go for biodiversity studies, also the society research from researchers. Later on we'll also buy more researchers that cost Unity, also their upkeep is unity, and then we can mix it up like a little bit. There are also some better things than maniacal, like you can have geniuses and they are really good for the labs, things like that. It will all come together. Now let's take the next decision that you make. Viktor Skobolev and his materials expert. There's no materials research here. Doesn't really matter much. One thing is a weapon. We don't need a weapon right away. That is also kind of a weapon, a basic strike craft. And so we have zero-G refineries that will give us a little bit more output from the mining stations, 10% more, and unlocks the nebula refinery. So if you're in a galactic nebula, you can farm and get a little bit more minerals for a modest investment, which is also a good thing. But mining station output is 10% for free. It's a no-brainer to take that as a first thing. So we have already sent the construction ship over to get the 2 minerals, and if we have the technology as well, we'll not get 2 minerals, but 2.2 minerals. Now that's part of the things that the AIs get at the start. Part of the Grand Admiral bonus is that they really get 100% more of everything right off the bat. We have a science ship also hanging around here. It's also something that you should do very early on, and usually they have something connected to exploration or excavation, as seen here. You will find some little excavation places that are in your own systems, and where you can make excavations if the system belongs to you. If it doesn't belong to you, well, then you might have a problem, but or that might not be a useful skill, but it's just to increase your excavation speed. You should in general start excavations a little bit later. Once you've explored a lot, and you cannot really explore much more than you send your people to the excavations. First, it's rather a race to get as many interesting things going as you can. And there's something interesting to see here already. That's the system of Trappist. There's a lot of worlds here. We have a desert world. There's a desert world as well. So if we can survey that system, then we can build a station in that system, and then we can settle the desert planet in that system where we have like a settling bonus for. So desert brings us into the category of dry planets. So we will do in general relatively well when settling dry planets, and of course if it's a desert world exactly like Earth currently, that's the ideal thing. There are also other more friendly worlds if you want so, like the continental world, but that doesn't give us a bonus because we're adapted now to the dry climate. And there's an Arctic world as well. Later on, if we get the technologies or transform ourselves, we will be able to settle on them quite fine as well, but for now we'll leave them be and just settle on the desert world. But we want to settle there as quickly as possible, and so we want to get together the alloys for a colony ship to send that over as quick as possible. Like that's the thing at the start. If you can start long-term things that will benefit you, like a colony, do them as quickly as possible. Really a huge help early on. So adding to that, we have a very, very interesting thing that's called policies. There's a lot in policies, as you can see here. So what do we want us to set up? Of course, we're expansionist, and we will not change things like war philosophy for now. But there are things that are important right now. One of the things is the first contact protocol. What we seek out there is other people that we can help survive and that can help us survive. So we want to set this to proactive. Usually there comes up a dialogue where you get the choice, but we're just going to do it right now so you can exactly see what happens. So an exciting opportunity to make new friends and fresh discoveries. It means that we cannot attack neutral entities, which can be a disadvantage if you play a very aggressive empire. Other empires will find it easier to establish communications with us and gain 50% more influence from each successful first contact process, which is a lot of influence at the start. If we meet many others. So we're just going to choose that. Then we have economic policy. It's a mixed economy. So we can specialize in consumer goods, for example. Instead of alloys, which is for a peaceful economy, we could go for a militarized economy where we specialize in alloys instead of consumer goods. So that is to your taste. At the start, a civilian economy is more likely. At later on, and you can use the militarized economy if you want. So I wouldn't set this into any position right now, because at the start you need both. You definitely need both, and then later on there can be a point where you have a lot of growth maybe, then you need more consumer goods. And maybe you're in a good alliance, then you need less alloys, then you go for civilian economy. If you go rather solo and rather rapid expansion also of military, then you go militarized economy, but you have to see to get more consumer goods. Then what you should not do is get a lot of advantages for producing consumer goods and then choosing militarized economy. That kind of makes no sense. Better chill on it, right? The most balanced choice is always the mixed economy. So if you're not absolutely sure you really need something and cannot change it otherwise, don't mix up the economy that much. That can be a little bit dangerous. So refugees, for now we want only citizen species, but it may change depending on whom we meet and might make an alliance with. And there's other things. So what do we need, right? So we are starting on a desert world, which means we can colonize Trappist 4 here, that you can see is a desert world. Just have a look. Is that Trappist? That's Trappist 5. That's Trappist 4. So that's our target. So if we colonize this desert world, we'll need a colony ship. And a colony ship costs 200 food. We already have that. 200 alloys. We don't have that yet. And 200 consumer goods. We don't have that yet. So we have to acquire either a lot of energy credits or alloys and consumer goods by other means, like by production, for example, to make this go quickly. And what you should also do is, we'll also do that, pre-build the colony ship. Even before you build the outpost, you can do that, so you can have a very quick launch. It's not necessary, but it can really help. And on the other hand, you're looking at the energy credits, and you can see here that we have some blockers here. And some of these blockers of your first settlement, of your first planet, have special effects if you remove them, like the sprawling slums will get you 1 pop if it is if it is cleared. So it's really an incentive to clear this as early on as possible. As you can see, we have available jobs here, and of course if we have 1 more pop, then we'll be more productive. This thing unlocks agricultural districts, which can also be helpful, or in that case the industrial wasteland will unblock the Delhi sprawl, which gives us generator districts, giving us a potential to have more energy. So with our leader here, who has an agrarian upbringing and who will be very good. If you want to, you can ask to become a leader in our world. So you can become a leader like any one of the leaders here. Except I cannot change the absolute leader of our civilization, right? That is unfortunately impossible. So we have a couple of people here that you could become, and possibly most people we'll have is going to be scientists, but there will be some admirals, generals, and governors as we see the need for them. Scientists you need most, the leaders you need most, in my experience, are scientists. So if you want a safe bet, wish for a scientist to be. And now, of course, I'll prefer subs and of course members of the channel a little bit. But in general, there's so many scientists that everyone should get a chance to become a scientist. So, but now let's advance a little bit, right? Let's see what happens. Let's see what we can do. Already ordered the construction ship to construct. We have ordered the science ship to explore the system of Trappist. And, whoop, as you can see here, unity. We have now enough unity to come back to our edicts here. And we want to start the veneration of saints, especially Gaia and James Lovelock and all. And we'll increase the priest output by 20%, which will help us with Unity generation mostly. So that will be a very good advantage. And it will come at the cost of absolutely 0, because that's the base edicts fund. And that's what you get here for free. So it's really good. The others are not really helping that much. So we will save that up for maybe another option later on. Well, let's see what we can do. Oh, we're coming over. Let's see what the science ship does. Let's have a look. It's looking at Trappist 7. What will it find?
Construction complete.
Now we have construction complete, as you can see here. It's very helpful to have the advisor on, because it really alerts you to these things. So what do we want to build next? We want to build a mining station on Jupiter, but we of course need minerals for that, and we won't be there having enough minerals for it. It will only be next month. So we want to start right away. We need to purchase some more minerals, just a little bit. Start that instantly, because it will give us 3 energy credits. Of course, there's also some upkeep for a station. It's usually like 1 energy. And so we need to purchase a little bit to get this going. And it's going to help us out very much. The next step that we want to probably make is to remove the sprawl, and then we can have one more guy on our planet working for us. When we have done that, we can also choose to buy more consumer goods. I can already do that. So there's a big incentive to do that next month, when we can buy 50, and then we can already start a colony ship. That is going to be a good idea. So we're going to do that next month. So a lot is... Yeah, it doesn't need to be like the exact day, but it really helps. So we can now buy 50 consumer goods. And we'll already order from our shipyard on the Sol station a colony ship to be built. So we can send it to Trappist in time while our science ship is exploring there. Now, while we're exploring, we'll find some anomalies. But these anomalies, we will not trigger them right now. We will not explore them. We don't have time for that. We want the colony ship to be ready to get in there as quickly as we can. So we will ignore the anomalies for now. Anomalies give you some bonuses like science, like some material bonuses, sometimes ships even. Exciting things, but we want to be able to survey this system as quickly as we can, because only then can we build an outpost there. And only then can we use the colony ship on the desert planet. Only if everything's surveyed there, it's considered to be safe. Now we have a huge selection of things that we can choose. We can choose a tradition. And choosing the first tradition is always something extremely important that can shape your game. That you can shape your game a lot. So now we need to choose the first tradition. We don't have to, but we can, and we should. So there's a broad selection here. There's 2 things that you typically choose at the start, because they're really good at the start. The first one is expansion, because of colony development speed and lower influence costs for getting systems, things like that, and discovery. Not so much because of the survey speed, but because of the adoption effect that unlocks the edict Map the Stars. Map the Stars is really, really good, and that will increase the discovery chance for anomalies, and that is something really, really good that you can only get comparably with really great leaders with a lot of luck. And usually you want discovery anyways, because it has so many advantages for scientific play. So if you're not going fully military, take some part of discovery. And what we're going to do is we're going to mix it up. We're taking one step. We're going to just adopt discovery, and then we're going to go expansion if we have enough room. But we want the edict to map the stars, and that's the reason we're taking this now. And of course, it's also not bad to have anomaly research speed increased by 20%. That's a really huge bonus. That also does help a lot. So, we're going to go to the edicts now, and we can map the stars, which increases our anomaly discovery chance by 10%, which is really a big deal, because there's a base chance of it. It's like 5% or something. And if you choose that, it's increased to 15%. Yeah, it's not 10% more than the base chance. Like by cumulatively adding like to 5.5% or something, it's from 5 to 15% or something. So it's really powerful. 10% doesn't sound much, but if you see it like that, it's really good. So, and why do you want to take this early on? Because if you find a lot of anomalies early on, then you'll have great early systems. The early systems are going to be your core systems. And if you have really good core systems with a lot of specialties in them, like they can find special engineering things in here, or good things in planets, things like that, then you're going to have a good time usually. And if not from the story, then also from just the bonuses that are getting added to your empire. And that's why we're going to take that first. But we don't need more of that first. We're going to go for expansion next,
complete.
if everything goes as planned. Let's send them over to the scientific expedition here. You can already see that we have found a lot of things in Trappist. My goodness, is that a good system? We have a lot of minerals that we'll need a lot. Energy is always helpful. And research, of course, too. Let's see what happens next in our discovery. Yeah, so once we have the colony ship built, we can think about more science adding in, but we want some critical first steps early on, and as your leaders cost unity, you don't want to buy too many leaders if you want a quick bonus at the start. What the bonus we're looking for is a reduction in influence cost for adding systems to your empire, and that needs like just a couple of selections, not only one. Discovery of alien life. We've made a starting fine on Trappist 5. Planet is teeming with alien life. Yeah. The continental world, not something we can inhabit so easily anymore after Earth has changed so much and we have adapted. We have encountered life forms that did not originate on Earth. This amazing discovery has silenced those who believed we were alone in the universe. Although none of the alien creatures found on Trappist 5 are sapient, it's likely only a matter of time before we encounter beings that are. We may not be alone out there. Indeed. And we might have to survive against an enemy alien civilization or against a friendly one. We don't know. The priesthoods on Earth had a generally favorable reaction to the reports of complex yet dumb organisms found on alien planets. The findings did spark some interdoctrinal debate. Is this proof that the rebel humans are the lords of all within creation? Or have we simply not yet encountered our brethren from beyond the void? Is like Gaia an encompassing thing? Or are there several Gaias out there beyond our home planet? We've already discovered another desert world that is very interesting. It has a special atmosphere, an atmospheric aphrodisiac that makes a sweet taste in the air. And that sweet taste, we have already several babies in the in the team coming, but there's also some unstable tectonics here, so it will be extremely interesting to research that, especially for geoengineers. Let's see how that goes. We definitely want more unity going, and we're getting into the region of energy credits that can be used to remove the sprawling slums. So we'll do that as quickly as we can.
System survey complete.
Trappist is fully surveyed. Wonderful. This means that we're going to send this over here as the next action. And we're going to have to choose where to send Alberto Mazzitelli. And I think we're going to go maybe into that direction. There are a couple of systems that could also be full of life. First, we want to find out, and that's of course some metagaming. You have 2 guaranteed habitable worlds near you at the start. And your goal is to find these relatively quickly and settle on them. So we could and maybe should check on that system. That looks promising, to see if we need to expand in that direction. And then we're going to need to check all that backline here. And we're just going to do that now. We're just going to go here only with explore, so we only see a rough overview of that system, the whole thing, so we can exclude this system. And then we're going to go back and start to survey here again. It's not bad that we will wait a little bit to do that, as we anyways want to unlock another tradition that helps us bring down the influence cost. That is otherwise rather hard to come by. Let's remove the sprawling slums so we get 1 more population. Free them from their slum existence. These are our military ships. Later on we'll build a lot of them up to the naval capacity and maybe even more, but at the start you really don't need a lot of military. And that's why we're ignoring it for now. We have Zosma here. No intel level, but there's no planet there. And we'll see if they can go over here. Couple of days. See that? We have even 2 planets there. This means we'll go quickly back to Zosma. And we'll survey that system, and then we'll survey Alpha Centauri, because there are 2 worlds waiting for us there. That is phenomenal. They're not that big, but that's not really that important at the start of the game. So, next thing, as I've already said, will be expansion. Expansion helps with early colony development speed, 25%. Like, I mean, we could go further here, as you can see here. Survey speed increased by 35%. It's really good. It's really good still. And then go only expansion, but there is something here that we want to get reach for the star. Starbase influence cost reduced by 10% is a huge, huge thing. The others are also not bad here. Like the pop growth speed increased by 10%. Or new colonies starting with 1 additional pop. That's all very tempting. And because we want to start colonies, we want to quickly get into this. And also this. And maybe this. And after that we can survey a little bit quicker. Expansion is next. Yeah. What a broad approach we have here. We're already building our thing in Trappist, and we can already send... We cannot already give the colonization command, but I think it will be... once we have an outpost there, we can start to colonize. And that will be...
Construction complete.
Already now, so you can see it. There's still 87 days until the arrival. We might definitely rename the planet later on. So what we have here now is we can see that we might need some energy credits. We might need some minerals. Minerals is usually the thing you want to get most at the start. So we're building a mining station. And we're building that mining station next, and after that we want to build that research station here. And we can also automate this, but of course it's always more precise and better if you don't automate it and if you make conscious decisions. Always, you know what you're doing then. Colony ships will soon be there and start the colonization process. And we can already, we won't buy anything for that, but we can soon start another colony ship. Oh, we still have one amenity missing. Question is what we'll do about that. We can build another temple, or we can just wait for another clerk to fill in here in the city district. That doesn't give a lot of amenities, but it's a little bit of a help. You can see here we have 2 people, 2 priests producing 4 amenities, and here we would have like 1 guy producing also 2 amenities, but he produces like 4 trade value, and these guys produce like 7.5 unity instead. That is worth more, but it's also a bigger investment because of the consumer goods. So it's we need another solution for the happiness of this planet, and we will later look into that. It's probably going to be at the first thing holo theaters. Later on there are some even better solutions for starting planets, but the holo theaters are a good thing. Entertainers turn consumer goods into unity and amenities. Not that much unity, but a lot of amenities at a very meager cost of consumer goods. So that's probably the next thing that we're going to look forward to.
We are spreading our faith to a new world.
Our colony ship has gently touched down by the outskirts of a large oasis on Trappist Prime. Situated at the foot of a large mountain, this ideal location provides shelter from the wind and has easy access to water. The ship has been permanently converted into the administrative headquarters of the new settlement. Its Gaian core is in the process of being removed so it may serve as the colony's temporary power source and first method of exploration. Hundreds of small tents and prefab shelters have sprung up around the former starship's massive hull as colonists begin to disembark in large numbers. The first rebel human city on an alien world. A great day for the Extinction Rebels. Indeed a great day, and a great day also getting more minerals in the future. And look at that system. Wow. Wow, just wow. We're getting a lot there. We're really getting a lot. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic second expansion system that we're going to get.
System survey complete.
Now we can go forward and explore Alpha Centauri. Curious if we'll find an anomaly. It's really atypical that we're not finding one right now. But what can we do? Look at that. We can soon choose another one, and we'll reach for the stars then, of course. Because influence is a very, very rare resource at the start. And when we get an alliance, it will be even rarer for the time being. Here, we'll reach for the star. Starbase influence cost reduced by 10%. That would also be an okay choice. But we are very, very close to claiming our next system, and saving some influence sounds just great. Another pop, of course, as well, but hey. Look, Alberto has already leveled up. And our governor also, who has agrarian upbringing, helps us with food generation. Which will be not something that we need, but it's nice to have.
Complete.
Trappist is colonized. We'll go to Zosma. You might think that we might do a colony here and not here. But the thing is that you need... If you miss out on this colony, you'll need like double the influence here because you don't have a connection. And so it's actually better to have that connection here and invest in that and then go over there. Only if you have really desperate need to get a system in time would you do such a jump over, because it costs you a lot of influence. Now we're going to go to Zosma, build an outpost there, and be happy about it. Because it's such a great system with another 6 minerals, 2 research, and 4 energy credits. And this is trade. So if you have a trade route going over there, then you will also get the trade value, and the trade value will convert into energy credits. What we can do here as well now is we can remove the features if we want to. That will make the planet a little bit more accessible, and that in turn will make the growth go a little bit up. But we're going to save that just in case, because it's not something that we need right now. But we should look into getting something more here, and that like the typical thing to get here on your home planet, because all the trade routes come back to that. If you don't have a really specialized strategy, it's really good to have commercial zones there, because all trade comes back to that. And the trade on Earth is protected, and really commercial zones give you a lot of trade and convert it to energy early on. So it's a good choice to do that. So you have a really, really strong economy then, because, yeah, as I've already told, energy credits are just great for buying resources that you just need. And so, like, it's just a good idea to do that. I'm gonna go and build another colony ship here. We might even, you know, we might even build a construction ship before that. I might even do that. Because 2 construction ships are something to really to have early on. That's something really good. But we don't have to hurry with that. I'll do it like this. Then switch that so the production here stays open. If we cancel that out, then our production there would be lost. We can get a construction ship in 60 turns. That's a good investment early on. Later on, it might be a waste of time, but early on, getting a second constructor is good, because the one can then go, like, build the outposts. The second one can help fill that, or you can have some in like 2 different directions where you just research. And there's tons of options that you can have there.
Construction complete.
So in this case, we should wait a little bit with the alloys, of course. But we'll start here and build just the mining stations. Now, that's too imprecise for me. It's way better to go this. I want this first, and this, and research. Yeah, we're directly there, but it's only 2 research. We want that only later. That will soon be done, and we can send it over to Alpha Centauri. So we can build an outpost there in time. Science ship is doing great. And we'll see what we get there. Influence is already there. You can see that we only have 3.5 more planets to research, to survey, and then we'll be able to build something there. And we want to do that. And we will do that very early on. We have already purchased a reduction in influence. It's just very good to have that early on. After that, we can concentrate on building the next one. Our scientists in the labs have already changed their levels. They have leveled up. Very good news. And we're kind of waiting for the expansion. We're moving over to the Alpha Centauri system with the Volga. Let's see what we can get down there. The ship will soon be ready.
System survey complete.
The system survey is complete, but we found an anomaly, and in that case, we could research that. It's very quick, so I'm going to research that anomaly. And we have these 2 to colonize, so we have plenty of time to discover more systems where we could send ships. Settled there. And another way to invest in would be... oh, look at that. Look at that. Soon to be colonized, and now we can get another pop. Another pop just for free on that system. Now, let's see what we have here. We should build something. Because there's a dinosaur worker out there. What we know about our friends the dinosaurs, right? We haven't talked about this yet, but we have workers that are mostly the dinosaurs. And they're unemployed now. Why? Because they cannot go for specialized jobs. You cannot go for higher jobs, so you need lower jobs for them. So what we can do is buy a couple of minerals, and we want to look around. What do we need? Definitely need amenities. It's not that critical to get them so quickly, but we'll just build the holo theaters now. Gonna be a good choice. We're swimming in resources. It's just a good thing to have them.
Construction complete.
Zosma is here now, and for some reasons we're gonna go and send this back here, because next I think we'll save the new life for now, and we'll go and build another science ship in between, because we want to also get something going here, and then we can choose where to build our outpost and where to expand. We have found Proxima Centauri B. For as long as we rebel humans have been able to look to the stars for new homes, Proxima Centauri B has been a naive dream, a place we would look to with optimism, a new home. Sadly, as our telescopes got better, we realized that the planet would probably be a tidally locked frozen hellscape. A theory which we have confirmed today. There's hope, however. This world has all the building blocks necessary for a habitable planet. It might just need a slight push. Yeah, so what I'm going to say is thank you for inspiring us, Proxima Centauri B, and we're going to get a lot of unity, which will help us acquiring the next leader. So that's what we found there as an anomaly, and now the question is, where are we going to send our science ship? To a dual star system, right here, to the Whispering Garden Nebula, or to the other places? So what are we going to go for next? We're going to send this rebel human over. Whoop. To which of the desert worlds? Let's have a check on them. Quicksand Basin. 2 times. It's a small planet, but there's no dangers there. That's another planet here. It has poor quality minerals, which means we have less mining districts and less minerals from jobs. It is good for industrial generator districts, not for food, but for cities. Well, let's see. So this is a little bit better agriculturally. Also not good for mining. It's more like a mixed thing. And the question is, what would we want first? And there's a couple of theories that you should apply there. The thing is, you need advanced resources relatively quickly. These are consumer goods, and these are alloys. And also another one of these resources that you want to acquire is, of course, unity and research. So you want to have enough of these. And usually you can get a base resource on a planet, and what counts as a base resource is surprisingly one of these consumer goods and alloys, because they're in the districts. And the advanced resource would be, for example, unity or research, or you can also go for army production. So these all that you get from the districts mainly is base resources. Now you can combine your worlds, combining like a base resource and an advanced resource. So you would typically go for something like, I want to build alloys and unity, something like that. So what we're going to go for is look at Trappist Prime, and we see that we have an engineering bonus here with the unstable tectonics. Unstable tectonics is a little bit risky. It will sometimes destroy buildings, but it's not bad, right? Atmospheric aphrodisiac is generally good to neutral. It has a little bit of governing ethics attraction, minus 20%, but that governing ethics attraction is only a problem with faraway worlds from your capital, and that won't be the case here. So your advanced resource here, because of the research bonus, will be research. And the main thing that you would go for here, as you can see here, we have a lot of mining going, and it's generally really good to have mining early on, because that will fuel everything else. So we could mark this down here as mining and research. I really like to name my planets that way, or even bring that to the front, so I really know what happens there, like what I'm going to build there, so I don't have to take notes. What did I want to do there and things like that. So what we want to go for here is mining and research. It will be successful. So we have mining covered, and this means we have enough minerals for whatever comes next. We have enough food and energy from our home planet. So the next thing we should look for is consumer goods or alloys. But consumer goods is even better. Because we will need consumer goods earlier than alloys. Alloys are helpful, but yeah. Really, really important later on, but at the start, consumer goods are a little bit better. So we'll definitely go for that one, because it has just more industrial districts. So that's the decision making behind that. I'm going to send someone over here. 3, because we have more room there for things like that. And later on, we will go and do something else, like either in that or... there's something to these systems, right? So we could research here. But the thing is... I know I'm contradicting my earlier thing, is... Now there's something going on maybe here. We still want to research or explore at least these systems if there's a habitable planet nearby. But then we want to settle here. Around here. Because that part here we have already saved. We've gone for the critical points. Someone would have to attack us to get access to these systems. At least early on in the game. So we don't need to explore nor expand there. We can grab more room if we go here. Or if we go here. So we'll do that. We'll just quickly sail through here with a newly coming science ship. Just a quick check if there's any planets there that we could settle. And if there's no such planet, then we're going to go explore this way. Now we're going to go for the same logic with our science ship here. What do we want to reach, right? We want to grab some critical points here. So we want to have the opportunity to get huge amounts of space that are reserved only for us. So we need to catch core points here. So first thing we need to find out if that continues into something. And we can, like from this structure, see this will continue forever, like this left thing. So it's critical to get to that system. So everyone who wants to expand is blocked from here, is blocked from this part of the galaxy. And this part to get will be a little bit harder, but I mean there's a natural limit here. There will be no one here. There will be maybe someone here, but we'll go sail there and find out. So, but the first thing is to save that system. So we're gonna survey that system first.
The faithful have claimed a new world.
Wonderful. So now we have our colony here starting. And now first you get the colonist job, as you can see here. And you don't have to worry about the dinosaurs that we have, right? We have a secondary species. These are the dinosaurs, as mentioned in our prehistory, right? They are very strong. They're a little bit servile to us. They generate more resources, but they cannot generate leaders or be in ruler or specialist jobs. So the first ones that always settle on the planets will be the rebel humans. And only then some dinosaurs will follow. But they will follow. So, and we definitely need them there. So one of the first things that we want here is to build something that will profit from instantly. Later on there are growth buildings that will help with development of the planet very early on. But we don't need them early on. We don't need amenities early on. It's it's a good thing just to fly like that. We also don't need many consumer goods at the moment, so we can wait for that. We can really wait for that. And we've already said that mining and research will be what we do here. So what's the thing that will help us early on most? Research is always a good idea. The thing is, I think we would profit from a little bit of mining, and it's also not a big investment in terms of minerals. So let's just build a mining district here. It is the ideal working place. That's another part of it, right? For the dinosaurs, we have 2 rebel humans here. They are colonists. Colonists is a specialist job. And later on, there will be rulers, things like that. If you use researchers, then we'll have another specialist job that the dinosaurs couldn't do. So we'll open up job opportunities for our friends, the dinosaurs. And they will be able to go to the mines and do their thing, being very strong.
Construction complete.
Now we can just build mining stations here, and then research stations when we have a little bit more. I've seen these are already there. Our research is coming soon. I'm going to check on the leaders here, because sometimes they change, and we will just want to see if we have a very good one to adopt here. The cost is going up per leader. Like every leader costs a little bit more. Adaptable is not bad early on, but you might want to choose some expertise. That gives you a big bonus on research. So we definitely have some jobs opened here, and one of the better ones is really particles. That has a lot to do with energy usually, getting more energy. So that's really good early on. Later on, Voidcraft opens up the way to space stations, better ships, things like that. But that's too early kind of for us to go for, so we'll go for a particle man, especially because the age really doesn't differ that much. They won't live that long, but having the option to interchange something into the labs will be like a good option. So we're gonna go recruit him. As you can see, the resilient leader here is already very old, so not really a good choice. We'll have him for our coming science ship. It's really a good option. Let's just see if we are already researching something. No. We're researching computing currently, so it's not a big help for that. So we're going to fly through here and we'll take him on. We'll just move here, then we'll move here. Then we'll move here, then we'll move here, then we'll move here. Exploring the system just means flying through. So if we discover a planet there, then we'll backtrack, get a connection, and quickly make a colony ship. Otherwise, we'll concentrate on the next thing here. That's more important. So the next thing we want to get is definitely the expansion policy here, a new life. And also to boldly go. Once we get more science ships, that will be a really great choice to get more survey speed. So these two we want to get, and then we might hire another science ship and another scientist. That will also need some upkeep in Unity. We're going to go forward here. And of course, we are also waiting for a potential next
anomaly found.
Colony ship. And now we want complete information, so we really want to look at the crash site. We've discovered an ancient alien starship lying half buried in an asteroid crater. Look at that. Wonderful. And we'll research that now because we have enough to do. We don't need to expand. We have enough to do with getting the second world here settled.
Construction complete.
Now we can build the next research station here. Gonna be a good thing. See, nothing to see here for now. There's Sirius with another desert world, which means we'll instantly choose the quickest route to there, which is Barnard's Star first, Serious second. And we're going to send our constructor here to make way for that. So that's the main focus, and that also means that we really might go first for another expansion tradition. The crash site. We've discovered an ancient alien starship half buried in an asteroid crater. This science ship's exterior has an extensive sensory array and no weaponry. The exterior was not damaged in any way before it crashed. It's a science ship, maybe? We can assume this catastrophe was the result of a fatal error caused by the crew. How tragic. And we can see that there is now a new archaeological site that we found as a result of the anomaly. Really nice. So, an archaeological site is something that you can send your researchers in if you are in control of that system. So, if we have an outpost there, we can send him in, for example. It's made for that, an archaeologist, and let him search that. But that's usually done when you have no more room really to expand. Then you go back and look at the archaeological sites. Always looking if we can maybe afford a little bit of alloys. And we could go for some alloys and some consumer goods, and yeah, I think we should. And then we can. We've sent our ship. Well, let's do that again. We'll send it to here and already colonize the planet. And the other planet, we can use that colonization menu here to get another ship going for that. Now that's going to be our main focus now, getting all these planets settled. And we are really blessed. We have 2 planets here, 1 planet here, and 1 planet here, which means we have 1, 2, 3, 4 planets early on. The usual thing that you find is 2 planets early on. So we're really lucky in that case. And we need to use that luck because, wow, there may be horrors out there that we don't know. There may be the horrors waiting for us. And we need to survive.
Construction complete.
We need to survive this. And we can stay calm here with the Volga. We can maybe go over to Procyon already. The thing that I do then is usually, just in case an enemy starship goes in there, I just send them here, not in the middle of it, because then they have the chance to flee still. Remnants. The Extinction Rebels is abuzz with news of the alien remnants that were recently studied. These leavings are considered definitive proof of intelligent, purposeful alien activity at some point in the past. It was the ship, the stranded ship. We may still be alone now, but we are, or at least not the first to be so. Remarkable. Colony ships are on the way. Things are looking good. But on Earth, we need the holo theaters now. People want to be entertained with the news from the new and exciting discoveries. Procyon looking to be a good system. And with this amazing set of discoveries that lies before us and behind us, and like even more before us, I mean, look at the galaxy that we can still explore. I would say thank you for watching and happy gaming to you. We'll come back to this very soon and continue our mission to survive together. For now, we haven't found enemies, only opportunities. We haven't also found allies. We've only found remnants of a long-forgotten time. A starship crashed. A civilization, maybe non-existent anymore. But who knows which are the mysteries that we will still find. Maybe some friendly aliens, we may hope. Maybe some enemy aliens that we may dread. Let's survive together next time. And have a great time until then. Happy gaming. This is Immanuel Khan signing out. See you soon. And have a great time until then.